Okay, not every one of us vote in every single election, so we want to walk you through some of the recent changes to Texas voting and make sure your voting experience is a smooth one. First, early voting starts on Tuesday, February 18th and runs through Friday, February 28th. That's 11 days total, including Sunday. And remember, you can vote early at any site in your county. So what do I need? Well, Texas accepts 7 forms of ID. Some of them are quite common: your driver's license, military ID card, even your handgun license that's issued from DPS. You can also use what's called an election identification certificate or a personal identification card. Both of those are also issued by DPS. And of course, all else, your passport will work too. What about Election Day? Well, the primary election day is Tuesday, March 3rd. The polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And in more spots in Texas now, you can vote anywhere in the county. It's called county-wide polling centers. Collin County's had it for years. Dallas and Tarrant just added it last year. But at least in Denton County, you'll still need to know where your precinct is. They haven't adopted the program just yet. Want more? You can find our election guide on WFAA.com.